Hello and welcome to the theElpyDimension. I am your guide, Elpy, and this is mixed worm bin number 3. Today's the 17th of January. I cannot believe it, 2025. And last time we were in here was on the 12th, so 5 days ago. And this bin actually received a small feeding on that day. Although they are still a part of the Time for Pie series because they still have pie. I was just in bins 1 and 2 and I did not find pie in either one of those bins. So they are out of the Time for Pie series after 26 days. We've got condensation on the bubble mailer that I believe I gave these guys the bubble mailer on the 6th. So 11 days ago. Yeah, we see, these are little worm castings, little worm poops. So they come up and they hang out up here, and I think, yeah, there's some under here. And now this bin, we've been real happy with lately. I think it's recovered, and we can just talk about it no longer as a problematic bin, but rather just my smaller population. So let's go ahead. The feeding from the 9th of December, they had a big old piece of mango left. That was breaking down pretty well, but for a long time we had residents over here. Here's that mango. And there's our residents. Looking good and happy. Even though I'm no longer concerned about this bin, I'll still keep an eye on the moisture. We see baby worms, we've seen breeding. There's a nice big fat worm, red wiggler there. There's a nice red bulging clatellum. There's a baby worm. So I'm very happy. Where did I feed? I fed them because I believed this bin could stand to have a feeding. And I think we did it in this corner. Let's go check on the Time for Pie first. Looks like my sniffly nose is rearing its ugly head. Okay, so not last time, which was the 12th, but on the 6th, we really gave all the bins a heavy stir. Those that had boxes, the boxes got torn up. Some more baby worms. And that's what we're seeing here is the box. The fruit box, there's a casting, or a cocoon. Not last time, but on the 6th, we also found a white cocoon, which I presume is a cocoon that was just released, shed, laid. There's a wisp. Cool. Okay, wait. So we are looking for pie. That's PETA. This is the outside of the box. It's a fruit fly. Lots of mites. Potworms. Oh, lots of mites in there. That's a maggot. That's no longer a maggot. Fruit fly maggot. But these little really skinny, really fine, those are potworms, and those are springtails, the little white. Because there's so many baby worms, which again the potworms are not on this though. That's a baby worm. See, it's got some pink, and it's also got a potworm on it. I would take this out due to the number of mites on it, that piece of cardboard, but I'm not going to. Mites aren't bad for your bin, but they're not. Here's our pie. Yep, there's still a decent amount of it left, I'd say. They aren't bad for your bin, but they aren't necessarily good either, especially in high numbers. So I'm just gonna give this a stir. Yeah, we've got lots of worms though, which is great for this population. Oh yeah, lots of good worms down here. This is a big old piece of paper. Oh Lord. Did I feed in this corner? Is that what we're seeing here? I think this was paper to remedy the moisture problem before. So this is just a big old wad of torn up paper that I haphazardly threw down in there. It's still pretty wet, but now we get to separate it out. Shoot, where did I put the pie? Oh, it's over here. Okay. I want to dig down in here a little bit more and just, yeah, I'm good with this moisture level. It's not wet. Let's go ahead and put our piece of cardboard, well, it's sort of cardboard now, our pie. Maybe we'll put a new piece of paper around it. Okay. So they still have pie. I fed, what did I say, it's been 5 days. So there's no way I'll really be surprised if they don't still, there's a cocoon, have food. I don't want this paper just to sit on top because I'm sure they kind of like. Okay. Just kind of mix things all up. All right, so there's another cocoon. I don't think that's the same one. Wasn't paying attention, so it could be. They're still in the running. That's some yucky pita. Now sorry for my weird breathing and noise and nose, because I'm mostly over the cold, but oh yeah, that's right, we have pear and some persimmons, I believe. Or no, that's an apple. A very rotten apple. But yeah, oh yeah, and they got an onion. Because someone was talking about their bin not liking onions. So I just want to show you an onion breakdown. So these guys are entering into Watch the Onion Breakdown series. This onion was moldy, but it's more intact than not. Is that all they got, was the apple and the onion? No, that's not gonna do. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, put that apple back. And in the corner where we just tore out, just a minute. In the corner where we just pulled all that paper, we're going to Well, not quite the corner. Let's go sort of next to the corner. Look, there's a cocoon down there. Okay. I'm going to add some dry shredded paper. Shredded's good. And a persimmon, or 2. Or 3 rotten passion fruits. All of these fruits have been frozen. And maybe a little bit of dry mix. Now, these guys can handle this. I can confidently tell you that right now. And I want to encourage them with more food to continue to feel comfortable breeding and pursuing their lifelong interest to reproduce. All right, cool. Well, that was a very simple, straightforward check-in. Some of this blanket is now, some of the stuff I pulled up out of that corner is kind of part of the blanket, I think. But that's fine. It all gets mixed in anyways. So these guys are still part of the Time for Pie series. But as of the 12th, we're also going to watch an onion breakdown. The onion was more intact than not. It had a little bit of mold on the outside of it. And it has not been frozen. But, yeah, we'll see an intact onion breakdown, see how long it takes. And at what point the worms become interested in it. There were worms around that area, but there's also that rotting apple on top. But there wasn't much worm activity going on in there. Okie dokie. But now I've also given them those persimmons because they need it. They need the goodness. That is worm bin number 3 on the 17th of January, 2025. All right. Thank you so much for your time and your interest. Be sure, if you want to see how all of this has been going on, I do have a playlist called Time for Pie. I also have a playlist called All Things Worm Farming. There I do add videos of other people, other worm farmers that I enjoy. So I encourage you to check out those playlists. And the subscribe button is free if you're interested in following along with my journey and seeing how things are going. Now I'm going to move over to bin number 4 and see how that's coming along. Now that one's having some fun moisture issues, and that one I really do want to start moving toward harvesting. In fact, I'm supposed to be putting a divider in there today. That one is farther along than bin 1, which is also we're thinking about harvesting in bin number 1. All right, thank you so much for your time and your interest. Be safe, be well. Bye for now.